There are too many games.
There were in fact too many games there. I could not buy them all.
But you wanted to.
But
oh
I
man,
tried.
did I ever! Like everything I wanted for my collections was there, except for some reason Shantae for Game Boy Color was like the only thing I was looking for I couldn't find.
What was the rarest thing that you found there that you were just like, damn, I wish I could get that, or did maybe?
A factory sealed copy of Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut for the N64
no.
for $100,000 American.
What?
That was what they had that there.
$100,000 is an absurd price. Like
it is, but you're also never gonna find
right?
it. Like you're also never gonna find a factory sealed Blockbuster video game ever, which is why it's $100,000.
Man, that's funny.
That same booth also had Stadium Events, which is the one NES game that I'm not getting. They had a complete in box because it is like by the cartridge alone $10,000. And
yeah, I think I remember like news stories about a Stadium event.
Yeah, pretty much every time that sells, there's a story about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the highest selling NES game or game period until like a copy of like the pre-launch Mario Brothers went out for sale for like 50,000 or 100,000.
Weird. Do you want to say some stuff you did buy, or is it all secret?
No, I can say. I bought a bunch of stuff for Saturn and Sega CD to flesh out that collection. They're both almost done. I got a bunch of Neo Geo games, so I can play them on my Neo Geo cab or on my Neo Geo machine. And when we eventually get a Neo Geo cab, I can just put them in there too.
What's a Neo Geo cab?
Neo Geo arcade cabinet.
Like a full-size cabinet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you still have that other arcade cabinet?
I do, yes.
Okay.
There's a little nook in the basement behind the monitors here where there's enough room for a couple arcade machines. So that's probably what we're going to do.
Wow, yeah, just fill up that space.
Yeah, man.
What was your highlights that you purchased?
Probably like my favorite favorite Neo Geo arcade game, Gyro Mark of the Wolves. And a couple of Metal Slugs, which I've always wanted, so.
All right.
I'm trying to think of anything else of note.
And when you're like finishing off these collections, how many of it is just sports games that you intend to never play?
A lot, which is a bummer, honestly.
Yeah, right.
I feel like I don't know how well you can see the Saturn shelf, the one directly behind me, but I feel like you could probably lop off at least one or two rows if I didn't grab sports games. Like pretty much that entire bookshelf is enough to hold the entire North American Saturn collection.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm. And it is almost done. I think I'm down to about 10 games left. So.
And how many of those are sports games?
Probably
like all of them.
Probably at least 50%.
Great. Cool.
Yeah, it's real good. I love it so much.
Does anything else go on at the convention? Oh, you said there was panels.
Yeah. So we were there. We were there to run a panel. Our panel was interesting because it was right next to a wrestling match.
Oh,
okay. Was that part of the convention, like the video game?
Yeah, they had a cosplay wrestling running at the same time, and we were all in like one giant like stadium room. So we were basically fighting for like audio control versus all these people rooting for like a bunch of people in video game outfits wrestling. And admittedly, during the hosting segment, I also kind of kept looking over to see who was fighting. So at some point, I saw Isabelle fighting Deadpool, the Mario Brothers fighting Team Rocket, and I don't know who Tifa was fighting, but she kicked the crap out of someone.
Right on.
Yeah.
Weird.
No, it was a cool con. Like it was a nice, small, chill con. You basically went there for shopping. Like we used to go to Portland Retro Gaming Expo years ago. Reminded me a lot of that.
Okay.
So I would probably compare it to that, like a little free play area with some console games set up, with some arcade machines, food court area, panel area, Smash Brothers area, and I guess the wrestling ring. And they had a concert area too, so every night they had a couple concerts.
Cool.
But those weren't going on at the same time as the panels, right?
Depends, usually.
Like you're trying to listen to some people talk about games or whatever, and then there's someone just like playing loud music right beside you.
The concert was in a different part of the building, so it wasn't immediately picked up.
Okay.
But you could still hear some of it like through the walls as you were
Okay.
like in the panel area.
What are the headlining bands at a Too Many Games convention?
I'll get you the list here in a second.
Is it like actual people that you could have heard of?
Yeah, I mean, if you're into game music, yeah. Because I know that our friend, Family Jules and Adriana. Well, Adriana was just there to hang out, but like our buddy Jules, his band was there. All guests. Let me see here. I'm trying to find the whole
Some
list.
41.
No.
Some 41.
I don't seem to have the full band list, which is a bummer.
Stereo Titans, Steel Samurai, Professor Shy Guy, Super Thrash Bros, The Games. Oh, MC Chris was there. Lame Genie, Psycho Stick, Keith Apicary, and Epic Rap Battles of History is what I show.
There you go. That's pretty much it.
That's neat. Huh.
And how's the Runaway Guys following in Pittsburgh? Was there a big turnout?
It was surprisingly big, yes.
Nice.
Pretty much everywhere we went on the show floor, we kept getting stopped and asked for like autographs and to chat and stuff like that.
Cool.
It got to a point where Emil was like, "Man, I've been trying to just go get Pokemon cards, and it's like it took 2 hours just to get to the booth."
First world problems, if I've ever heard
It's
one.
pretty first world, but yeah, like it was just like any other con we go to, we don't get stopped that much. So it was kind of surprising by comparison.
You guys don't go there much. These people have been starved.
Well, we saw a lot of people we've seen before at other locations. They just
okay.
They were more local, so they're like, "Yeah, no, this is way easier to get to." And then we saw a lot of people we've never seen before. So
cool.
Did you get a chance to actually see any of Pittsburgh itself?
We weren't in Pittsburgh. We were in Pennsylvania.
Oh, right. And and that's right. You were going to some no-name town.
We were going to Oaks.
Oaks. How did Oaks turn out to be? Was it cool?
Yeah. Well,
how's the
it's
food
like
in Oaks?
It's like a small suburb of Philly. So
okay.
Philly. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. All these P's getting mixed up with the P's here.
Yeah, I got confused a couple of times too. I've been to a Wawa now, so I can say I've been to a Wawa.
Okay.
What's a Wawa?
It's like a convenience store that also makes like a lot of food.
Okay.
So like I went there to go to like ATM and get like some snacks and drinks for the hotel room, and then I also got like a BLT with avocado.
Okay.
That sounds normal?
Yeah, no, it's just like, all right, cool.
Great. So the best thing you had was that from a convenience store?
No, actually maybe. So
you're saying is don't put Oaks on my food bucket list of places to travel to?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Because the con food was all right for what it was. Like it's better con food than I've usually seen at places.
Okay.
But most of the nights I got back to the room late, so I had to do like order a pizza or just like try to snag something that way.
You didn't find out what's the thing you go to Oaks for? What are they known for food wise? And you get that?
No. Well, I mean Philly cheesesteaks because Philadelphia.
Okay. Did you get a Philly cheesesteak?
I can't have cheese anymore.
Oh right. Well, I mean, you could take can't you take a pill?
I can, but then all it does is just make me get sick later instead of right away.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, not good. So other than that,
can you get a cheesesteak without cheese? I don't know much about cheesesteaks.
I think that's just a steak then at that point.
That's not bad. I'm not gonna say no to a steak.
We chopped up a steak and put it in a hot dog bun, or I guess like a sub sandwich bun.
Okay.
And that's it. Nothing else on it. Just steak.
I've heard of worse things.
That is true. Yeah. No, it was fun. Honestly, like if you want to do some good retro game shopping, like I'd highly recommend it.
Cool.
Cool.
What about you, Paul? What have you been up to in the last week?
Just chilling, man. I got copyright claimed for the silence in The Quiet Man. It's so good.
That's
how
does that happen?
The copyrighted content is The Quiet, and it doesn't have like an artist name or anything, so it looks like I was just that like quiet sound, probably that like or whatever. I think they might have copyrighted
Like
it.
the noise, the random noise.
I think they copyrighted.
That's weird. Are you sure it's not like the like credits music or something? Because there's like a song in there.
Wouldn't it say "This" by Imogen Heap or whatever? As the copywritten content, not just The Quiet.
Well, is it called The Quiet or The Silence?
I got hit with by The Quiet, is what they are saying. I would have.
Are you saying there are two different tracks inside The Quiet Man? One called The Quiet and one called The Silence? Because I would believe you.
I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That's really
we got a good comment in the chat here. The game that keeps on giving. That's very true. Like this game has been a gift.
It's been something.
That's the word.
Yep.
I'm still waiting for the like tell-all story where they can actually talk about that game.
Yeah.
Because I
You're
need to read
the
that.
no clip.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been chilling. I've been doing stuff.
Cool.
Here. Yeah.
Cool.
What about you?
I saw Toy Story 4.
Okay.
That movie's great.
All right, that's good. Been hearing that.
Which I think everyone kind of goes into that movie thinking like, did they need to make a fourth one? 3 ended so perfectly. And I was in that camp because like when like I was the same age. I'm the same age as Andy, I guess, because when he was going off to college was the year I was going off to college.
Oh, weird. Okay.
So it was like, so it was perfect.
Like
I was the exact age group there. But yeah, they picked a real good story to go with, and 4 is really good. I would recommend seeing that.
Okay. Eat.
But let's do some video game stuff. Some more video game stuff. This is the top-down perspective for June 27th, and I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
And Paul, why don't you start us off with what you've been playing?
All right. I mean, I'm just gonna go based on your lists then. But the big thing I've been playing is I've been playing Bloodstained.
Cool.
A lot. I'm at the point where I'm just kind of collecting souls or shards or whatever you want to call them. You know, if you've seen the game, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
What are you playing it on?
I am playing it on PC.
Okay, John.
PC currently because the Switch version has some bugs they're working out.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering if anyone was playing it on the Switch because it looks awful.
Really?
I keep hearing that, and I haven't booted it up. Like I have 3 copies of the game because of the way they help me support the game.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was I backed it myself, and I used that to get the Switch one. But then because we were a clan for the game, for the credits, they also gave us a $300 package, which came with 2 versions of the game.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
So I have a physical for Switch, a physical for PS4, and a Steam one.
I see. Okay.
And then one of the companies I worked with to try out some games at PAX East gave me another copy of the Steam one. So technically I have 4 copies of Bloodstained.
I understand the Steam one's like the only one that actually runs nicely.
The Steam one is the one that runs the best. That is the most recommended version to play.
Yeah.
The Xbox One version has some weird bug about shoot, I forget what someone mentioned it last night. It had some weird bug where it kept like locking up. There was some other bug that all the versions had where if you read a bookshelf, it crashed. Every version of the game apparently had a bug where certain treasure chests would be in the wrong state, so you couldn't open them to get items you needed to move on.
Isn't there a bug that just like deletes your game?
That's the only one I haven't heard actually.
I thought I heard of one that like was like really bad. I'll look it up.
There was one I heard. The one I was thinking of was the one where like if you upgraded to 102, your file was unusable. Okay, yeah, so I guess that would technically be delete. So I think that's what you heard.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Players affected by this bug will be required to restart the game with a new save in order to properly progress. Oof.
That's literally the worst I could think of.
That's
Yeah, it's a
pretty-
bummer.
Apart from like the game
I-
like cracking.
I think they patched that in a day, though, in a day or two. They were fast on that one, which
That's
thank
good.
God, because that's a terrible bug.
I was watching like a comparison video on YouTube of like, I want to say it was the PS4 version and the Switch one, and the Switch one just looks like trash in comparison.
Yeah,
Like they took so much out of it to get it to run.
That's too bad.
Apparently, I said them on the email list for the Kickstarter. They said they are working their hardest to get it up to snuff with the other copies. They're patching things in. There can be like slow patches going in to fix all the performance issues and all like the missing textures and stuff.
Man,
Yeah,
what a
I did see
bummer.
them tweet about that.
I didn't actually know about any of these problems. I haven't been reading up on it. What a bummer.
Yeah, I have, like I said, I have the Switch version. I will probably play it for a bit because I mainly wanted it to be portable like the other Castlevanias. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the one I was like most interested in, as I thought it would be a nice Switch game. But hearing that that's the one I should not touch, it's like my interest in it has just dropped a bit. So now I'm just kind of thinking like, maybe I'll just play it on PC, or maybe I'll wait until they fix the Switch one, and then at that time it'll probably be a bit discounted. So we'll see what ends up happening.
Sure. Yeah. That game's really good. I
agree.
Like, it's one of those things that like, yo, did you like the Aria games for Castlevania? Because maybe you should check it out if you did. It's that. To like be a little less flippant about it, I guess it's just, it really feels like the progression of that type of game style into a modern age where it just has a bunch, maybe a little too much weird busy work here and there, but I kind of like the busy work. Like I like the little farm thing and like collecting dumb things to give to the villagers and stuff. Like I like that shit, so I'm okay with it. But it's kind of weird to see that in my Castlevania games along with the normal stuff, but all that normal stuff is still there. I think Miriam is a great character. I think the bosses that I've fought in so far are dope. I think the areas look beautiful, and I think the music is completely on point. In fact, the music is so on point that so many times I've been hearing like a new track, and it's just like I swear I've heard this before. Like I swear I've heard this in another game. It's like, no, that's just the style of music, and it's perfect. Yeah, I can't gush enough about it. I think it's wonderful, and people should pick it up.
Yeah, agreed. Great game, and they
Was it
still
worth
got a
the
lot
wait?
of extra content. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
argue.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess not if you have one of those broken versions, and man, that sucks. Fuck. But yeah, it's so good. It's really, really good. I am enjoying it quite a bit. Honestly, that's really been like the big thing I've been playing, so I'll throw it off to somebody else.
Well, I can wrap up if you want.
Yeah,
Sure.
John, continue on.
Yeah, so I got to play a bit of Bloodstained last night on stream. We've got our in-game item, which was fun to use.
It's a
Basically
helmet, though.
ruined-
Does it actually do something, or is it just cosmetic?
It's cosmetic and it's +5 defense.
Okay.
So it's a good starting item for higher defense, and it also ruins every cutscene, which is probably my favorite part about it. Other than that, did Jet Set Radio for game clearing this week. It's
Okay.
almost done that. We're at the very end. We played the PC version. We modded it so that we could put in graffiti that people were making.
Okay.
So that was fun. Definitely just painting pictures just related to the stream all over the game.
Nice.
That game has aged more poorly than I expected. It's very got first game in a series syndrome. And as someone
Okay.
who grew up on the sequel, which I would argue is much better, it was weird going back to it and being like, oh, this is got a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm. I could see that,
Well,
yeah.
the modern one is like Sunset Overdrive is like the closest thing to it these days, right?
Probably, but that's a shooter still, so
Right. I mean, it's not the close. I'm just thinking, what's the closest thing to those games? And I would say Sunset Overdrive.
Well, there's Hover, which is basically a spiritual sequel.
Okay, I don't know what Hover is.
That- Yeah, Hover Revolt of Gamers. It's a Jet Set Radio like, and it came out 2-3 years ago.
Okay,
So it was
yeah,
well
there you go.
after Sunset Overdrive. And it even has a song from Hideki Naganuma, which is the guy who did all the music.
Right. He also did a song for that
Lethally Blaze.
yes. Yep.
And that one's a real good song too. So, other than that, on the flight back from Too Many Games, I tried out Slain Back from Hell.
What do you
As
think
Paul
of
said,
that?
I might like it. As
You don't like it? Oh, that's too bad.
it's okay. It's more Soulsy than I expected in the attack style. Because like you got to like plan out your attacks a lot more. It's not just hack and slash. It's more like, all right, slow movements.
Yeah.
A lot more like insta kill traps or just like
there's
focusing
a
on
few
parrying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was honestly playing through and I'm like, man, I can't tell what Paul likes about this other than like
everything you've described is my type of game.
Yeah, it's not mine.
Insta kill stuff? You like insta kill?
No, but I like parrying mechanics. I like slow, deliberate combat. I like all of that stuff.
No, I like fast, quick combat, which is why I like Bloodstained and stuff like that.
Mindless combat where he doesn't have to plan anything out. He just wants to hit the X button.
I like being able to just kind of move, just like, all right, here's the enemy. I know its pattern pretty much right away. Let's just rock through it.
Mm-hmm.
I like not being like instantly punished and sent back a ways if I haven't figured out an enemy immediately.
Sounds like you like baby games. Whereas Paul's he's the thinking man game.
Yeah.
You got to plan it out. You got to think 3 moves ahead.
Hey man, I watch Rick and Morty. You know how it is.
What?
I watch Rick and Morty.
Okay.
The only thing that kind of kept me going for a little bit longer was I fought the first boss. I was just the whole time I was like, man, what is Paul seeing this? And then it's like throw up the horns to like celebrate the rock god, and he just starts headbanging to like heavy metal. I'm like, all right, you know what? Maybe I'm in for a little bit longer.
That Valferris game or whatever that's coming out does the same sort of thing. When you beat a boss, it's just like, just rock out. Like, okay.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
I think the soundtrack's probably the strongest part of that game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, I don't know. I might give it another try, but with Bloodstained in my possession now, I think it's going to get put by the wayside.
Sure. I mean, Bloodstained is the better game, just straight up. So.
Okay, well, at least we're in agreement there.
Yeah.
That's all I've been playing.
All right. A bunch of mine was kind of stuff I talked about last week, but I beat Cadence of Hyrule today.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. I have to go back.
That game has a weird difficulty spike at the end. There's like 2 bosses at the end that are just out of nowhere real hard because both of them can spawn enemies at you, and it's some of like the harder enemies in the game where they'll do like multiple spaces of damage while they're still attacking. So that's pretty annoying. And it was so weird to me because I was like, this game starts hard, but then it gets like so easy to the point where you're now asking for a level of like precision that this game has not prepared me for. But then I remembered you can buy health potions that respawn all of your health because you have a bunch of empty bottles, and then those bosses became quite easy. Because I had been playing through that game with no health potions because you don't even have to. But the final bosses I definitely needed to for sure. But that game's done. That was a good time. Cool. Did the whole thing with Zelda. You do have to get all the characters at one point, but I just did not want to play with the other ones because I was so used to Zelda. Especially her like Din's fire attack is really nice.
Oh, I switched to Cadence immediately. No regret.
Oh, really? What are her trigger moves?
The shield and
so the same as Link, that shield, or the reflecting one?
A big shield.
Okay, I think that's what Link gets.
Yeah, and I don't remember the other thing.
Yeah, so Link can like do he can like attack all around him, like a spinning sword attack. Yeah. And then he has his shield. But I like Zelda because she has the reflecting crystal thing,
diamond thing or whatever around her.
Yeah, the diamond thing. But specifically the Din's fire, because you no longer have to move Zelda. You just get to move a fireball wherever you want. So you can just like put it on the enemy, which is very useful. Anyway, good game. But yeah, that weird. There's some weird highs and lows with the difficulty that don't seem quite earned. I also beat Guacamelee 2, and that
Okay,
game is
nice.
just fantastic. That is a really good Metroidvania. It looks great. It plays great. There's like a good depth to the combat. They put a lot of cool combat challenges at you, and there's even like like side things to get like pieces of heart. Platforming challenges. They get like pretty ridiculous, but you have so many different moves, and you have to like string all of these combos together. Like you can put a lot of time into that game, and it's good and it's funny. So I really enjoyed Guacamelee 2. I highly recommend that. I wish it had online multiplayer because it has local multiplayer, but no online. Still playing Overcooked 2. I finished that first chunk of DLC that I missed, and I'm onto the Horde mode
Yeah.
DLC.
How's that?
The Horde mode's interesting. So the way the Horde levels work, you have to make meals again, obviously.
Yeah.
But there will be certain points on the walls where the zombie bread will come in and try and break into your kitchen.
Okay.
So instead of giving out the meals to like just the ether, they're going out to the restaurant or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to, each zombie will have a meal that it specifically wants, and you have to bring that meal to it to make it stop, like to make it go away.
Okay.
And then 30 seconds later it'll spawn a different enemy there that wants a different meal. And then you have to spend the coins you've been getting from these meals to board up the damage that's been done. And then the castle itself that you're in can take damage if all the boards drop on one location, then the zombie will start doing damage to the castle itself. And if you lose your castle, you're done. I've only played 2 of the Horde modes. I don't know how many stages of those there are, but it seems pretty easy so far. I have yet to have anyone even get close to damaging my castle. And also another thing that I kind of wish it was a bit harder is they kind of rank you on the total gold or coins that you earn. So spending it to fix the castle doesn't decrease that number, which I kind of wish there was a risk reward of like, man, do I want to board up this wall? I'm going to get a lower score, but it doesn't matter. They only care about the total. So I might as well just spend all the money I wanted. Like it doesn't matter at all. So it's weirdly easy, but I don't know. It's fun. It's a small twist. So Overcooked is still cool.
Cool.
Okay, and then before I get into the phone stuff, I started up Metro Exodus today.
Okay.
I haven't played any of the other Metro games. I'll start off with that.
Wow. Okay. So when it starts you off as like a hero, are you just like, who the fuck am I?
Yeah, I don't know who I am. I'm
Okay.
Artum or whatever his name is.
Yeah. I mean, there's some backstory, but sure, you don't need to know any of it. Honestly.
It doesn't seem like I need to know it because this seems to be like a brand new adventure outside of stuff. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It seemed fine. I didn't feel like I was missing anything.
Sure.
That's a really nice looking game. It is very pretty. I like that anytime you have to go outside, you have to put the mask on, and then the mask can get broken, so you just have to put tape over the hole, so that your whole view just has a chunk of tape in the way.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that you have to wipe the goggles if they get too gross. There's just a real commitment to the world that these characters have to put up with that I'm enjoying. I haven't done too much with it yet because it's a pretty slow start. You're just you're going through a lot of dialogue, a lot of slow moving through the stuff.
Sure.
But I'm interested in the world for sure.
Cool.
And again, that is a very pretty game. So I'm gonna play more of that.
Cool. Sounds good.
And then I put a whole bunch of stuff on my phone. Let's start with Wizards Unite. Wizards Unite. Because that came out.
Yes, it did. I played that as well.
Yeah, we mentioned this last week that it was going to come out on like the Friday. Then it's randomly launched on the Thursday down here. You guys got it a few days later, I believe. That sounds right.
Yeah, I don't know. I downloaded it on Friday, I think.
Okay, maybe you didn't. But yeah, this is the new game from Niantic, the developers behind Pokemon Go. Well, what do you think about it, Paul?
It's Pokemon Go. Yeah, it
is shocking how close it is to Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like Pokemon Go with a Harry Potter skin on it.
And then you'll see
Which I guess
like the dude with the beard, like covered in snakes or like a vine or something, and you got to draw the
Hagrid,
symbol.
maybe?
I don't know. Sure. Yeah.
I think you're talking about Hagrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those curious, instead of catching all the Pokemon in this one, there are foundables, is I think the name of it, which is not a great name.
Yeah. It's
So you have to
like
find the foundables.
that. Yeah.
And it seems like they just kind of spawn around you as opposed to you having to like go to a location to like collect that foundable. Like how Pokemon Go does it. But a foundable is something from the wizarding world that has entered the Muggle world, and you need to, and it's like, and it's somehow like trapped out in the open.
Yeah.
And you need to untrap it so that it can go back to hiding in the wizard world and not reveal the wizarding world to the Muggles. That's the premise of this game. And then when you do that, you get them as a sticker for your sticker book, and you're trying to fill up your sticker book.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. There's actual story to it. Like there's a lot more in this than Pokemon Go has. Pokemon Go has no story. This has like voice acting and characters. I actually think the Daniel Radcliffe sound alike they got was pretty good. It's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
I am, however, finding myself it is so close to Pokemon Go in terms of the gameplay.
Yeah.
That Pokemon Go was basically like the amount of like playtime for me was like, it's high, but then it slowly deteriorates. And then every time they have an update with something kind of cool, it was all right, a bit of a spike again, and then down, and spike again, down. And it's been pretty bare bones, if not nil, for the last, I don't know, half a year or whatever.
Yeah.
This just feels like another update to Pokemon Go. So there was a little spike, and then it goes down, and already after a week, like I think I'm done with it because it's just Pokemon Go, and I'm not playing Pokemon Go, so I don't really have an interest in playing this.
Yeah. Also, Pokemon just has a charm to it that works better for that sort of thing. The collectible thing.
I mean, I'm fine with it being Harry Potter stuff versus being Pokemon stuff. I don't have like a huge preference. It's not like the Harry Potter stuff is like turning me away. It's just that's like, if I wanted to play this, I would just play Pokemon Go, but I'm already not playing Pokemon Go, so this one's not different enough to like, bring me back in really.
Yeah.
But yeah, that thing's out. I hear it's not like bringing in the kind of money that Pokemon was, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. No one's talking about this, which I figured there would be some kind of like resurgence a little bit, but
I think it kind of missed the boat for like the full maximum strength Harry Potter rush. Yeah, honestly.
I mean, they still have those movies coming out.
Yeah, but I feel like even the reception to Fantastical Beasts or whatever it's called has been a lot more muddled and lower than it was for any of the main Harry Potter movies. So I feel like because of that, like that's already kind of weak, or there's no real books coming out currently.
For sure. I mean, people didn't have the books that they were like, in love with, and they were growing up with these characters. Also, that last Fantastic Beasts movie is very bad.
I've heard this. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I wish it was different. Like I wish I wanted to do more stuff. Honestly, I'm more interested in whatever Dragon Quest Walk is, because that sounds significantly different. Whereas you're actually like battling monsters and leveling up your own characters and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I have yet to like go out of my way. Like, let's go on a walk and play some Wizards Unite. It's so far just been, while I'm at my desk or walking to work, I guess I'll open it up and save this literal newspaper from a gust of wind.
I know.
With my magic, so that a Muggle does not find this newspaper.
Thank God you're on the front line.
Yeah, so you can all send your thank you cards to topdownperspective@gmail.com, telling me how great a wizard I am.
Yeah.
I've also been playing Dota Underlords on my phone.
Okay. And what do you think?
And this is a weird game. This is an auto chess game.
Uh-huh.
Which I did not expect to be playing. Paul, you said you've played some Dota Underlords.
I've played all of the auto chess games that are available.
Okay,
Every
on
single one.
the computer or on mobile? What are you doing?
Both. Auto chess is only available on mobile. Dota Underlords I've been playing on PC. Teamfight Tactics from League is out on PC only, I think. And of course I started with Dota 2's mod of it like months
There
ago.
is, I know there's at least 2 of mobile ones.
Auto Chess and Dota Underlords. Auto Chess is a different game. It is literally
Auto
just
Chess
called Auto
Origins.
Chess. Yeah.
There's also Auto Chess Legends. Which one's that? Is that the League one?
It's probably no. The League's is Teamfight Tactics.
Okay, this one only has 6 reviews, so it's probably just
A new one that popped up.
Or like an indie person making
I
it.
guess I'm gonna have to try that tonight too, to keep up.
Okay.
So what do you think of Dota Underlords?
I'm kind of digging it. Like it's weird. Like we should kind of explain what it is, because I would not be surprised if no one has any idea what an auto chess is.
Sure. So Underlords is this new genre that spawned out of a game from a genre that spawned out of the game from another genre. This is originally a mod from Dota 2 where it's literally just you pick a character from a roster that are given to you, and you like spend in-game money to do it. You get like coins or points or whatever like the other ones use or whatever. And you build a roster. It's kind of a deck
building game.
It's kind of a deck building game, but you're building a roster of heroes to fight other heroes that are automatically like thrown at you in waves, essentially.
Yeah. So the gameplay isn't the fighting. You just kind of set up your characters and watch the round happen.
It's
the
actually
gameplay
more like a tower defense, honestly.
Sure. Like, yeah. Tower defense is pretty close. It's the gameplay is you picking the right characters that work well and synergize, which is very important, with your other characters, so that your defense will be strong enough.
Right. Exactly.
I think that so I can't speak for the other auto chesses. I've only played Underlords. The only reason I picked Underlords, I have no attachment to Dota. It was just like, I don't know, people are talking about this one, so I'll
you
play
picked
this
the
one.
hardest one for what it's worth.
Oh,
so if you're liking it, then the other ones would be easier for you probably.
Okay. Because I know there's one coming from the guy who actually made the mod that's not going to be Dota themed. That's Auto Chess.
That's already out on mobile.
On mobile?
Yeah, but not PC.
I thought it wasn't out on mobile. Oh, Auto Chess Origins.
Yeah, it's out on mobile and it's coming to PC someday.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. Okay.
No, yeah.
That one was honestly the one I was, theoretically more interested in, because I was like, oh, he made it. He was the developer of this mod.
Yeah.
And it's not Dota themed. Like,
right.
That seems like the one I should try out.
I mean, it's not Dota themed, but come on. If you play that game, these are Dota characters with different names. They just are. So
I'll take your word for it. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to even know the difference, but
sure.
It's not like it even matters. I guess I'll give that one a try, because why not? But I've been enjoying Underlords.
Cool. They're fun.
It's totally free. I don't even think there's a way I can give them money. Interesting, at least on the phone version.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I don't think it's like official. I think it's in like a beta right now.
It's in like its pre-season, which maybe that's why there's no way to give them money. I'm just surprised that there is no way to give them money.
Oh,
you think they would put anything in there? You know what I mean?
I mean, Dota 2 for the longest time until it came out didn't have any monetization either.
Cool.
So Valve doesn't care. They make the money from Steam anyway, so.
Yeah, I guess so. But now there's tons of monetization in Dota, like tons. So I'm sure
there's
coming.
like a battle pass sort of thing. Pretty much.
You can buy tons of cosmetics and like announcer packs and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Things I like and don't like about Dota Underlords.
Yeah.
The matches are too long.
Okay, you don't get auto chess then, because they're longer in auto chess.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
This is a game where to finish a match is like 45 rounds, and I'm not even being hyperbolic.
Yeah.
That's crazy. it's too long. It's too long. It's too long for me, I should say.
It's too long for a
People
phone game, honestly. Sitting here just like doing other stuff and kind of taking a turn every now and then is kind of okay on another monitor, watching a video or something.
Right, but when you're so there, you can play. I'm just playing against bots right now because I'm sure I am absolute trash.
Oh, okay.
Which and there's a mode where you can set it so that it only proceeds when you're ready, which is nice because that
man.
means I can actually shut my phone off. And not have to sit there for 45 minutes straight.
That seems fine. Yeah.
Typically, you have like 20 seconds to make your move or whatever.
And it doesn't feel like enough. You have to know what you're doing and do it.
For sure, which is why I have it set to like give me more time because I'm still trying to like understand all the synergies and stuff. So the 45 minutes, it's like that's 45 minutes where you need to be like paying attention the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's so long. It is crazy. I just wish it was like, don't start us with 100 health. Give us 50 health each. Like that would cut it in half.
It's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah. It sounds like you might like Teamfight Tactics, the League version, more. Because it has like catch-up mechanics and like it has... The rounds are shorter because as like the rounds go on... and players do more damage to each other to speed up the rounds so it doesn't drag on. And like,
I mean, that happens in Underlords too. You'll start doing more damage near the end because your characters will have more stars, right?
Right. This is built in though. They're usually about half the time of a Dota game
Okay, that does sound interesting. I don't know if I'm about ready to allow 3 auto chesses into my life though. I'm surprised I let 1 in.
Fair enough.
Either way though, I do like kind of figuring out like which people go together and coming up with that kind of thing. The tutorial sucks. It's so bad. It teaches you how to like it teaches you how to get to a game basically, but it does not teach you anywhere near enough of what you need to know. Like I looked up like a tips because I was like, oh, I can beat people on like easy or bots on easy.
Yeah.
I guess I'll try medium. Got my ass kicked like immediately, and I was like, what am I doing? What's going on? What am I missing? There's like not insurance. The coins give you oh god, what's it called when you have like 10 or 20 coins? Interest.
Yeah.
There's interest on coins, and they barely touch on the synergies. And then they don't mention how it's like, you need to have different units to actually activate the synergies. Like it is crazy how much that tutorial is not telling you.
Yeah,
that you need to know.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely terrible. The way I learned auto chess was a friend of mine like had been into it for a little bit, and he's like, we should play this, like a bunch of us. So I was like, okay, cool. It took us 2 hours of games and him explaining every detail of the mechanics before we felt comfortable to just play normal games. Because there's so much in there. And it was even worse before, because the mod didn't have it so that you would see the synergies easily. You would have to know, like, scroll over the character and read text as to what they, like, did and what they synergized with. Like, it was... And you had, like, 10 seconds between rounds. It was fucking garbage. That mod is terrible, and I'm so glad they actually made these, like, games around them into real games.
The synergy stuff is still a bit hard because like I have to basically go out of the menu of picking a new character, go into like the options menu, go to the like summary where it tells me what all the synergies are, and then I have to go into whichever synergy I'm looking at to be like, okay, what is the bonus I'm getting here? Because there's like, I don't know, 25 different like alliances or whatever they're called.
That sounds about right, yeah.
And you just need to know them all. Or you have to look them up each time. Yeah, it's jumping in the deep end. I'm luckily at a point where I am like, I can keep my head above the water.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna play against people because like I'm totally happy with just bots. I don't want to sit down with my phone for 45 minutes of just looking at my phone. It also makes my phone run really hot.
Oh really?
I hope my phone definitely does heat up. This thing chews battery. But I like that it's on the phone. That's the only reason I'm kind of playing it. I wouldn't have picked this up on the PC.
Sure.
Having like the whole game there on my phone, like it's suited for mobile, which is nice.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's a weird thing. I don't even know if I can recommend checking it out. But
oh, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's free. There's the only thing.
It is free.
If you have the time, then I would recommend
and
checking
a lot of
out.
it.
Yeah.
All right, that was Dota Underlords and some other auto chess stuff. That's it for what we've been playing.
Yeah.
There's no news.
Nice.
Nothing happened.
Thank God.
So let's just do some emails. If people want to send in questions, they can do that to topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. And I will read this first one from VGC Kenny. It is announced that Minecraft Steve is a DLC for Smash Ultimate, but there was enough of an uproar that Sakurai would be willing to negotiate. Which, what? Okay, anyway. Would you, these are your three options.
Okay.
A, say everything is 5 and let Minecraft Steve in. B, vote on a different character that will be released even further out. Or C, tell Sakurai, I'd rather have nothing and have only 4 DLC characters for Smash.
A.
No one is going to say C.
This is absurd.
A.
A is the answer.
Why, like, just because you don't like a thing, why would you be, like, willing to just gimp yourself?
No
or
one
other
gets to have
people?
fun if I can't have fun.
Yeah, that's
this is
pathetic.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just the idea of like, okay, I've heard you. I'm willing to negotiate about whether or not I put this character in the game.
I like this idea that Sakurai's not even like convinced that he should.
You watch me. Just watch me. I'll put him in there. I'll do it. I won't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy. Like, you just don't play as Minecraft Steve. Like, it's not making the game worse.
Yeah.
Cue a YouTube video where some dude says if they put Minecraft Steve in Smash Bros, I'm throwing my copy out the window.
Good. We don't want him on playing our game.
Yeah. VGC Kenny has another question.
Okay.
I went to a Hardee's, whatever that is, and I saw that the toys they featured for kids' meals was for a thing called Ryan's World.
Okay.
I looked it up, and it's based on a YouTube channel, Ryan's Toy Review.
Okay.
So if a restaurant approached you to have TDP toys or any of your other internet ventures with their kids' meals, would you do it?
You'd be stupid to not do that. Come on now. Come on now. What's our TDP toy?
That there is Happy Meal toys or whatever.
Yeah.
Personalities.
Oh, it's this kid. Okay. That makes sense.
How long until Ninja is in like McDonald's, right? That has to be coming.
Like Ryan, this kid that they're talking about, the YouTube channel, they have a Nickelodeon show. And they have 19 million YouTube subscribers. They're a big deal.
I've never heard of this kid.
It's like 5-year-old kid that reviews toys.
Excuse me. He is 7 as of December 2018.
My mistake.
Oh, okay.
Usually his channel releases a new video every day. Well, this is how you do it, John.
Every day.
You gotta get on that daily grind. Do you want these Ryan toy review numbers?
You gotta go back in time and just be young John playing with toys every day.
Gotta be John's toy reviews. You could probably do like a daily one of like a new video game every day, and that would last you for years.
I could probably do just one video game I have here a day, and I would be good for more than 2 decades.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the toy you want in the Happy Meal?
So, what are his toys? Like, what does he get in a thing?
I don't know, but you know what Happy Meal toys are like. You can pick whatever you want.
I don't know. The play set could be the museum because that way the joke still happens.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And they said it can be any
Ba-
of your internet stuff. So if you want to do like a Runaways guy thing,
I could do a bagel action figure.
a bagel. What is bagel?
Bagel, as in my
Oh,
cat.
bagel. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's an easy one. There you go.
Yeah.
Especially with
Okay.
like the eye patch. You could have one that's like that boob thing I keep seeing on your Twitter. Whatever that is, that keeps changing every week.
You mean boobs? Yes, I'm sure we could have a boobs action figure. That'd be great.
I'm down.
Yep.
Print it. Let's go.
Money made right there. Constantly changing.
Someone says, yeah, something with an egg. That makes sense. What about you, Paul? Any ideas for a toy you want?
No. Sorry, I'm looking
I don't know.
to see what,
it
this
has.
kid has, like what his toys are from like the meals. They seem to just be like little plastic cartoon versions of him. So like, I guess they just don't care about what they put in Happy Meals anymore for toys.
I mean, I have to assume the
didn't realize
audience
they
is
did.
around 7 years old.
Well, I think the thing is he's got like a bunch of animations of him running around as a kid, so like
Yeah.
like fighting crime and stuff. So I'm sure it's just that.
It's just those, yeah. It's just like little plastic panels of those. So I mean,
This has nothing to do with the show. Mine's gonna be something with a slinky, but like one of those
Okay.
good slinkies that can go down the stairs.
So no Slinky.
Well, the ones that I kept seeing on TV and never got. Thanks, Dad.
Are you allowed to put like ferrofluid toys of some sort into a Happy Meal, or is that like really dangerous?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, all right. Just never mind then.
This is your own toy. You can put whatever you want in there.
I would put something sciencey like that because I think they're neat.
Okay, there you go. Paul, do you want to take this next question?
Yep. Boko says, I just listened to the most recent episode. The talk about ska and Sean's action of making it dark made me think of a new subgenre, dark ska. Since you
What
three
did I
are...
miss?
Yeah, I don't know. What is this?
When were we
Do you remember
talking
this,
about
Paul?
ska? No, I don't.
And last week, like if you guys were talking about last week without me here, that's weird because I'm usually the one that brings up ska.
Were you not here last week? No, you were. Yeah, we recorded on
Oh no, we
Wednesday.
did Wednesday. You're right. Shit. Okay, so I was here last week. Never mind.
It must have been the week before because I think some of these were sitting in the hopper for a little bit.
No, I don't think so. We did all the questions last week. Remember, because we were like
We had to catch
backloading
up.
them.
I don't know then.
Okay, so none of us can remember this, but anyways, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so new subgenre, dark ska. We're now the creators of dark ska. What are the ground rules for it? What instruments? How does it sound? What do the band members look like? All right.
This is a good question.
The first rule is everything has to be in a minor chord, right? A minor, like, key. Nothing. You can't use major keys. You can't sound happy in dark ska.
Sure. Okay.
Brooding.
Let's go like around in a circle. We'll each keep adding a rule or a new component to it. So okay, Paul, you said yours. John, what's yours?
Oh, you brought up Incredible Crisis and ska music. That's what brought us this discussion.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So what was Paul's rule again?
Minor key only.
Ooh. Still has to have the same instruments you would have in ska. So it has to have the horn section, has to have trombone, has to have trumpet, etc.
Okay. So mine is going to be adding on to that one. There's a small little compartment in each one of the horn sections that when they blow it, blood comes out or like fake blood.
Now it's just turning into fucking
Guar.
Yeah, now we're just
guar. There we
guar.
go.
All right, Paul, what's your next thing you're adding to dark ska?
I mean, if we're going guar route, masks have to be worn.
Okay, but what kind of masks?
Oh.
But they gotta be able to play like trombones, so that's gonna be real interesting.
Okay, so the masks can be face cut out, but it has to cover your eyes and head at least. What's something dark? I don't know, just like whatever you can find that's like ghoulish of some sort. I don't care. It can't be happy though. Like you can't do anything feminine, and you can't do anything that would like be mistaken to like look normal. It has to be like weird and monstery.
Okay, some like monster masks. Okay.
They can't hop around on stage or act energetic. They have to be like kind of shuffling around slowly and depressedly.
Yep.
They can't, like, the players, the musicians, and the singer can't look the audience in the face. They have to be looking down at the ground the whole time.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. I was gonna say because like I associate like checkers, like checkered pattern with a lot of ska stuff.
Sure.
So just to kind of riff on that, I'm gonna go stripes, and then that made me think they're all in like old cartoon prison outfits.
Okay. Sure. That's probably
Do you guys want to do one more rule each, or do you think we're good?
No, I think we're
I
good.
think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good. I've found people trying to define from 2008 what dark ska music is and suggesting bands that count as dark ska music.
Oh my god.
And
Okay.
apparently Tokyo, or was it Streetlight Manifesto, was one of them.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's not exactly what we were describing, but okay. Sure.
Nope.
Dark ska.
Next question from that was Boko we just did.
Yep.
Rasterman says, suppose there's a game company that is given the chance to either re-release an old rushed game with everything it was missing in the first place, or to make a new one from scratch. Which one would you prefer, and which one do you think people would prefer in relation to the game you chose? For example, a case can be made for the game mentioned above in Sonic 06 with the success of Mania.
New.
So what game deserves a second chance or a finished version, basically, or should they just, or should the studio just make a new one from scratch?
I would say like Mass Effect Andromeda or Anthem. I would love if those were fixed. Actually, to be fair, for all I know, Anthem or Andromeda could be fixed. I've never went back to it.
True.
Sonic 06 has got a pretty good case for it, so I would probably argue that.
Yeah, that's not.
You wouldn't
too
prefer
bad.
just a new Sonic game?
Probably. Actually, I probably would prefer a new Sonic game because I feel like we already kind of know what that was supposed to be. Like, I'm trying to think of a game where like the potential was just completely wasted.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, for the most part, I would pick like a new one. But like outside of the two,
I want
mentioned,
a modern remake of ET for the Atari 2600. There we go.
Okay. It's also hard because you have to think of a game that like that you actually know is like missing stuff.
So, okay, here's like my actual answer, and it's just gonna be shitting on this company again, but whatever. They could re-release Fallout 76 and make it an actual game, but I would prefer that they just make a new Fallout and like make it good and not focus around
That's a good answer.
multiplayer bullshit.
Sure. Hey, they're adding NPCs.
Yeah, they're adding the game. Uproarious applause. Fucking Christ. Man, I just want another Fallout. I love that series, and Jesus Christ, that thing was garbage.
Outer Worlds coming.
I know. For some reason, you can like pre-install that on the Xbox app. So I did, even though it doesn't come out for like 2 months. Whatever.
Yep. I feel like most things that you can pre-order, you can do that now. Like I was able to do that for Mario Maker a few weeks ago on my Switch.
But this is on Game Pass. So I found it weird that it's like, okay, well, they getting me ready this early, I guess. Sure.
That seems like a good thing in my books. Like, why not?
This seems weird.
It also entices you to remain a subscriber for like 2 more months.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Kimberly writes in, are there any video games you don't particularly enjoy playing for whatever reason, but you like the soundtrack?
But you like the soundtrack.
Yep. The only one that came to mind for me, and I wouldn't say I like dislike the game, I just didn't play much of it, was Payday 2. I just like that soundtrack a lot.
Command and Conquer, that series. I like
Okay.
tactics games, but I never really got super far into the series. But most of the music from that series is great.
Sure. I feel like racing games are kind of a cheating thing because a lot of them are just like radio. They're like actual songs that you would like put on.
And you don't
radio.
like racing games?
Like, I don't particularly enjoy playing them, like simulation racing games.
Okay.
I don't know. It's weird because the soundtrack adds so much for me for a game that I usually will overlook a lot of other problems I have if I'm really like into. If I can play it and I'm having a reasonable amount of fun and the soundtrack is banging, I probably like the game. Like, the soundtrack adds so much for me that it's crazy.
Another one I just thought of is Fury has a really cool soundtrack, but I didn't play much of it because that game is really hard.
I really don't like Mega Man 1 because of how dated it is, but the music's still good in it.
There you go.
There you go. Hebrew Lantern writes and says, what do you think of a freemium, cheaper pay mod? Oh, he actually wrote this in. Okay. Hold on. So this was a discussion we were having. What do you think of a freemium / cheaper pay to make model of Mario Maker? In my eyes, a freemium Mario Maker, there are 3 options. A free or cheap option, maybe $5 to $10, where you can play all the levels you want, essentially a game without a level creator. Then there's an a la carte where you pay for assets like certain power-ups or level styles, totaling maybe the current price plus $20, since you don't need all the assets day one. In my mind, each level style would be like $5 to $10. The power-ups would be $1 or something. I haven't done the math, but like I said, have the total be like 25% more. Then finally, just one payment of $60, you get everything, including the power-ups, level styles, like a season pass.
Nope, hate it. Absolutely hate it.
This like freemium thing, yeah. Like, I was thinking about it, and for me, the creative part is the game. Like, that is so integral to what makes Mario Maker good. I don't think it would be safe to give that game or sell that game for cheap where you can't also create stuff, because it's kind of like part of the mechanics of why you would even want that thing to begin with. Otherwise, it's like a Mario game where you play shitty stages that troll you all the time.
I'm not paying $5 more so I get access to thwomps.
Okay, but to be fair, he is giving you the option of paying for it as normal. So if anything, you're just getting more buying options. So why is that bad?
This is
it's not
yeah
bad.
This is where I am too, actually.
It goes against the idea of the game, in my opinion.
I agree with you, but as I thought about it more, I was just like, if I was a kid and this was free that I could play, but like, I'm gonna buy the game. So $60 season pass or whatever, it's like a $60 game. So whatever, I'm gonna get the whole thing. But like, for that kid that like their family isn't gonna buy them a game or whatever, maybe that $5 to $10 is looking kind of good for them, right?
I mean, I look at it like,
yeah, but then it's literally not Super Mario Maker. Then it's Super Mario.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Which is great. To be fair though, Super Mario rocks.
Until you play other people's levels.
The actual thing is Nintendo would never do this because they would lose money on this.
For sure. But I mean, you could slot this in for any game. Like Call of Duty did this with its single player and its multiplayer separately, right?
I think so. That sounds familiar.
I don't think it was the most recent one, but the one before that.
The most recent one didn't have single player, I thought. There was one where they didn't have it and people got real upset.
I don't remember people getting upset. Anyway, regardless, not the most recent one, the one before that, after a few months later, they did release it in piecemeal. You could buy just the single player or just the multiplayer.
Okay. Mhm.
So Call of Duty has done that. So he's just using Mario Maker as an example for this one. I'm actually okay with this. For one, like I'll just buy the $60. It doesn't hurt me if someone else doesn't pay for it the way I did. But also, I don't make a ton of levels in Mario Maker. I just play a ton of levels.
So
if I'm getting like $50 off to play all the cool levels, but I'm not really making it, that's not a huge bummer for me.
The thing that I keep coming back to is that, say a lot of people have your idea, right? Where they're just like, I just like playing the levels or whatever. Because they have the cheaper version, they'll never be enticed to like try their hand at building something that, like, I want more levels in general. I want everyone to do a level because the good stuff will like rise up usually, especially now that there's a downvote.
Yeah, but now Flatmat has a good point though in the chat. Like, is the idea that the people who don't want to pay for the creator, are they also the people who make all the bad levels? So
Right.
logistically, this split like SKU system would probably reduce the amount of really terrible stages in Mario.
I think that's true. Yeah,
I think that's true
would
too.
be a net positive.
And I think the smart way you would do this is you would sell that, or you'd have the free one or the cheap one.
Yeah.
And then if you, after playing them, it might entice you to like, actually, you know what? Maybe I do want to try it. Cause like I saw this one cool mechanic someone did and I want to try making that, or I want to make it better. And then you pay for the upgrade or whatever, which is the, the equivalent of like, buying the assets, the a la carte one. You buy whichever pieces you do want.
This is why this conversation was weird, because I flip-flop so much on the good and bad of both that it's like I don't actually know where I stand on it.
I think what's weird is, I think on face value it sounds, giving the consumer more choice is just good, right? That by itself is a good idea.
Sure.
But I think it's just weird because we've come to like we come to expect the complete opposite. No other game really does this primarily, or if it does, it's a completely different style of game, and we're just not comparing them really because they, it'd be weird to compare them. They're so different.
You would.
And I think it's just the idea.
I think you have to get rid
Mario
of
Maker
a la carte,
apart.
though. I think,
but you want the people to be able to be like, actually, I do.
No, I think you either get the creator pack, which is $60, or like the $5-10 just play one. And then if you wanted to upgrade or something, maybe you get charged. Because consumer paralysis, like too much choice, is definitely a problem, I think, as well.
But isn't having the a la carte is the equivalent of like, oh, I bought this skin for my character because I wanted that specific one?
I guess so. And that's why I don't ever buy skins for characters myself. Because like maybe if like I had 2 bundles, it's like you could get this one or this one, I'd be like, you know what? I'll drop like $20 for this game. I'll pick one of these. Instead, it's just like I don't want to get nickel and dime $10 for like 100 characters or whatever.
And then that's usually why they have like the extra $20 deluxe edition, where you just get that stuff, or you just get the standard one, and then if you want to purchase the other stuff later, you can.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of the standard right now. Like I think of Devil May Cry 5, and I paid $60. I got Devil May Cry 5. If I want to buy whatever came with the deluxe, like those cutscenes, it's $5 or $10, or I could have bought the deluxe one and gotten everything. I think the only reason it makes us feel weird is just because it's so not Mario-like, and it's ripping Mario Maker apart when we're already used to what that is.
The reason it makes me uncomfortable is because I find the whole reason for Mario Maker, like most of it is honestly the creation aspect. And that includes, even if you just like playing them, somebody else has to be able to create for you to play it. Like the creation is this part of the game. And I don't like the idea of taking some tools away from a creator because they maybe can't afford it right now or something. So that's why I kind of like the idea of like, if you know if you're going to do creation and stuff, you should just get this like normal pass thing or whatever. But then if you're like a kid, you can buy it with your allowance for $10. And then if you save up a little bit and you want to make something one day, you could upgrade or whatever. I don't like the a la carte. I think that more than anything makes me a little iffy about all of this.
See, I think using your exact argument, you would want the a la carte, because if the kid can't afford the full game, but he can afford $20 now, then maybe he can get the free one and a few things to play with, as opposed to nothing to create with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like maybe the kid's like, I could wait 3 months and then I'll have enough for the game, or I could buy a third of it now, and then next month I could buy another third of the assets, and then next month I could buy another third of the assets, and maybe that's better.
End up paying more, but
End up paying more
own.
in the long run. Yeah, that's with this model.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's life.
But I mean, going back
when
with
you
Call of
do that.
Duty, when they
Yeah.
split it up, I don't think you actually were paying more. I think it was like 30 each.
Mm.
And then at that point, there is no downside to it. You are literally buying the stuff you want.
But what
So
if
you're
you
someone
had
who's like, I never want to play the single player in Call of Duty? It's like, well, then that's kind of cool that you have the option to only buy the thing that you know you're going to play.
But then what if you had to buy the maps as well? Like, you get 2 maps for this multiplayer thing for $30, and then it's $10 a map if you want to play on those maps.
Right. Well, again, I think that's a separate thing because you should pay for new content that people are putting.
I'm not talking about
effort
new.
into
I'm
that,
saying,
right?
say there's like 10 maps, and then if you buy this multiplayer thing, I don't like breaking up the creator stuff at all. I'm completely opposed to that. Because to me, it feels like buying the multiplayer part of Call of Duty and only getting like 2 maps. And then it's like, well, you could buy like the other 3 or whatever, or maybe this bundle. And I don't know. There's something I don't like about splitting it up that way. Mainly because of the creation aspect. It's a little hard to make the comparison to maps just because of like that's screwing everybody in the game, because Mario Maker is more of like a one-on-one between the creator and the player. Also, my powers might go out because
Yeah, that happened here too.
a giant storm is hitting us currently.
Oh, weird.
Well, that explains why I got a message saying stay safe. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, well.
Oh, I saw them flickering down here, hon. Don't worry.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't just here then. Good lord.
Nope. Okay.
All right. Maybe we should.
I wouldn't be surprised if this actually does happen. I could totally see this happening.
It's not the worst idea, but it is viscerally like, ew, when you hear it right away. And
yeah,
it's gross at first, and then you'd like
I think as long as you keep the old model as well, like the $60 one, then it's like, who are you hurting?
I guess
like,
that's the whole like crutch of it all, is that like if you don't get rid of the default option, then it's not a bad idea to have extra options.
Sure, yeah.
And didn't Nintendo kind of do this with Mario Run? Like they gave you the first world free, and they said, okay,
Yeah.
$10, you can have the rest of the game.
I wonder if they could do something like that. You could like create one level for free and see if you like it or something.
I wouldn't be surprised if this like starts to happen more and more, like especially with the Call of Duty split up. Like, this just seems like a no-brainer. Like giving people more choice, why not?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting discussion.
For sure. Okay, that's going to do it for questions this week. If you want to send in questions for future episodes, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What are your guys' games of the week?
Bloodstained.
Bloodstained.
I'm going to give it to Guacamelee 2.
Ooh.
All right, stay tuned after this, unless the power goes out, because we're planning to do the Castlevania Anniversary Collection episode of TDP Plus. Otherwise, wait for that to hit your podcast feed. Yeah. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.